to the Slam Pigs Podcast.
Sunday night, June the 19th. This is the Money in the Bank 2016 post show on the Slam Pigs Podcast. I'm Travis here, alongside always my trusty, I don't want to say sidekick, that's like a downgrade. My compadre.
I ain't nobody's sidekick.
My brother in arms for these shows. Michael, welcome. What a way to end Money in the Bank.
Live, baby, live here on the Slam Pigs Podcast. We got our Money in the Bank post show going on. Man, if you guys didn't check it out, boy, did you miss a lot.
The show started off a little slow, but by the ending, I'd give it a 10! A fucking 10!
A 10?
I've just been waiting to throw that out.
Oh, all right.
Maybe not a 10, but
All right, yeah.
that was a tribute to Billy Bob from Varsity Blues, who passed away earlier.
Okay. Do we know his real name?
Oh, shit.
See? Well, your name's Billy Bob to us, so.
Yeah, rest in peace,
At least
Billy Bob.
you got to see them fucking titties.
I'm sad you never got to rip off Kilmer's arms and beat him with them, but
Beat you to death with them.
fuck you, Bud Kilmer, that's all I got to say. Dean Ambrose, new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, on top of the shocking win,
By Seth Rollins.
the holy shit of the night. We did not call that on the
Seth
show.
Rollins in the middle of the ring. Pedigree. Done.
Crowd liked it.
Yeah, crowd popped up. I think the crowd might have popped louder for that than when Ambrose got it.
Yeah, more of a shock value.
That's what I thought.
But Michael, we got a new It's all for Roman Reigns.
Two title
So,
changes tonight in the same match.
Hey, I don't want to say Titus O'Neil, but somebody could have walked out of there besides Roman Reigns. I would have been happy.
Yeah.
It could have been Jericho winning it and doing the same. I would have been happy with that.
Rusev?
not with those Rikishi types. But we'll get into that. Michael, how do you feel about Dean Ambrose after all of the consecutive losses? It seems like. I mean, let's think about it. How many big wins does Ambrose really have? Like 1, 2, if that?
Yeah, not a whole lot. He's usually that guy that's in the main event that always loses.
I know you made the comment earlier, maybe you're not so keen on, you don't think he'll hold the belt well. Michael, what are your thoughts? Because I know we're all dying to know, and Dean Ambrose is the new champ.
I mean, Dean Ambrose, great worker. I think his character still needs work, man. But as far as in-ring ability, yes, he deserves to have a belt. Does he deserve to have this belt? Well, I'm sure a lot of people might disagree with me. I don't think it was his time to have it. I think this was kind of, I don't want to say last minute or whatnot, but I don't know what the point is. I guess this is going to lead into a triple threat match because Roman's going to be like, hey, I get my rematch, and Seth,
Yeah, they both get their rematch.
Yeah, so it's going to have to be a triple threat or something.
Do you do it at Battleground?
I think that's where it has to go. You have the Shield going at each other for the belt. But good for Dean Ambrose. Good for Seth Rollins. I was glad to see Seth come in there. Seth really lit it up in the ring tonight with Roman. I thought he did a hell of a job in there. Really good spots. That pedigree spot off the spear was awesome. I thought it was over right then and there. I thought that's how it should have ended. But then instead they had Roman kick out just for Seth to get him up and give him another one, and it's over.
I'll tell you what, a lot of people question, I've seen on social media, about is Seth Rollins going to be the Seth Rollins of old after the injury coming back. He looked like the Seth Rollins of old, if not better.
I didn't think he missed a beat.
No.
I mean, he got back in there. You could tell the knee was all right because he was doing all kinds of flippity-doo-dahs and 5-star frog splashes and jumps to the outside. I mean, he was everywhere. He was like a freaking leapfrog.
Yeah.
God.
Or a bullfrog if it's Kevin Owens.
Yeah, well, that's because he's fat.
Yeah.
But anyway, your new champ, Dean Ambrose, after Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins was your first new champ tonight, and then immediately followed by by Dean Ambrose cashing in and giving him some dirty deeds in the 1, 2, 3.
Clean?
Well, it wasn't clean.
Well, he hit him with the briefcase.
Yeah, sneak attack from behind with the briefcase, but I guess it's payback for Seth Rollins.
That's why I was a little iffy when Ambrose's music hit, because Rollins was kind of not like down and out.
No, Rollins looked all right.
He was ready. Yeah.
So it wasn't like one of those times when.
But when they stalled, I knew he was coming from behind.
Yeah.
If you watched wrestling for so long, you know.
You knew he was going to sneak attack him.
Yeah.
But like you said, I also had a thought that maybe Roman was going to interfere with that cash in somehow.
Maybe turn heel on Ambrose.
Yeah.
Like cutting him off.
Yeah.
Before the bell rang. Because you kept saying, like, wait, the bell didn't ring?
Yep.
Bell didn't ring?
Yep.
Then it finally rung.
And that was it. So
now or nothing.
Just dirty deeds, bam.
I will say I'm happy for Dean Ambrose. I'm a fan of this. Like I said, also, it's good to get it off Roman. I feel like it was rushed a little bit, not because of I don't think he's ready for the belt, but I think doing it all in one show kind of hot shots it a little bit. I don't know. I mean, it turned out good. It saved what could have been a boring show for the most part. The last 3 matches. Well, don't take account Rusev, but
Rusev?
that was you watched it.
It was a stinker, but
Dean Ambrose.
Rusev did the best he could.
I think Dean Ambrose will surprise a lot of people with how well he carries it. I think he'll come off like maybe a Mick Foley-ish, where you didn't think Mick Foley would hold it well at first, but he ended up being a pretty credible champion.
It's just hard for me to see him holding it for an extended period of time. That's all
I
I'm
don't
saying.
see that.
There's too many formidable foes out there for him to hold on to that.
This kind of screams like WWE was like, okay, we know you had all those jobs on pay-per-view, but here you go in return.
We need the shock value.
It won't be for long, but just to let you know, we appreciate putting over guys like Brock that work twice a year.
And of course, we've all been kind of stale lately with the God damn it. We all know Roman's gonna win. You know what I mean? So I think WWE tried to throw a curveball tonight, like, you thought you knew what was gonna happen. See, I mean, nobody knew what this was gonna happen tonight.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody could have predicted that Dean Ambrose was going to win the Money in the Bank.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, some people predicted that. I'm talking about as a whole, how it happened.
Can we point the fingers?
We'll get to that.
It's documented, baby.
We'll get there.
All right.
But nobody would have predicted that he would win the Money in the Bank. And then Seth Rollins would beat Roman Reigns clean in the main event. And then Dean Ambrose would come out tonight and cash in the same night he wins Money in the Bank.
I don't think anyone saw the Rollins happening because it's so early in that
feud. Neither one of us picked Rollins to win that match.
But I pretty much knew, like, I was shocked when he won it, but I was waiting because I called it before the match. Remember, I was like, well, if he wins, he's going to cash it in. And then he did. So that part was predictable, which is why I felt it was rushed. It's so predictable sometimes.
They're just trying to set up a triple threat, I think.
I think what a lot of podcasts and people aren't going to talk about is the Roman Reigns point of view on this. Is this like kind of like, well, it was a failed experiment on their WWE's part? Let's pull back a little bit because the fans are just like, he's getting worse heat than Cena.
Well, yeah, I think they need to. I think they're going to take time to reevaluate his character. Maybe this feud will lead into maybe a heel turn for him.
Yeah.
Not that he has to turn real hard because everybody already hates him.
Man, I thought they were going to turn him heel so many times before, and they just stuck to their guns with him.
Well, with SummerSlam coming up and
brand
stuff.
split.
Yeah, I mean, the brand split.
2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Yeah, I think it was July 19th is the first live SmackDown.
So like a month maybe.
Yeah, first live
a month from today.
Yeah,
actually.
So, who knows when they haven't announced when they're doing the draft or whatnot, but I guess time will tell. I don't know. I was definitely surprised with the main event. As far as the main event itself, I thought it was a pretty damn good match.
Yeah.
8 out of 10. As far as I go,
it was pretty good.
It was pretty good. It had some, so I mean, it slowed a little bit there.
A lot of even the Money in the Bank kind of started off slow tonight, seeming.
A lot of the matches didn't really get off to that. The only match that really started off fast was Rusev.
Yeah, double clothesline.
That double close, that was the best move of the whole match, and it was the first one.
Yeah.
But
to wrap it up on the title thing, though, do you think they're going to pull back with Reigns, or do you think this is just like a temporary?
I think he's still going to be a contender. I don't know when he's going to get the belt back if he does.
Do you think he's going to be their? Maybe I should have said it like this. Do you think he's going to be like their face of the company, like they'd hoped? Because I don't think he's going to be. No. I don't think it worked.
I think he's a better heel. I think they're starting to realize he's never going to be over as a babyface.
I think, especially with the internet, it's a lot harder in this day and age to force feed somebody to the crowd.
Well, and as many times as they're on television, it's not like the old days where you could send Hulk Hogan out there and do the same thing because he was only on TV once a month.
Yep. If that.
What I mean? Yeah. So, I mean, and he's only on pay-per-view, that was 2-3 times a year?
They didn't even have pay-per-views once a month.
So, yeah, I mean,
maybe every quarterly.
Yeah, that was back when it was just WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series and
Rumble.
Rumble.
It's just a different time. You can't. Vince has to give the reins to somebody younger. He's out of touch. I know it's. There you go.
I like your pun there.
Totally unintentional, but appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just time. It's I don't know. So many things on these shows seem like, well, that's Vince and that's Triple H. You know what I'm saying? Like, Febreze, whatever the fuck they're called, Fandango. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Something like that. Just screams Vince. The sunburn and all that shit. It just screams Vince.
And you know what? They're probably happy because they're on television. You know what I mean? But where do you see this going from here on out? What do you think as far as a result of this feud?
You mean where it goes, like
Yeah.
you said, like triple threat?
Yeah,
I totally agree with that. I think that's what they're going to do.
Triple threat match. Who do you see winning that?
I'm going to say
Just an early prediction.
it's way too early.
I mean, the match
It's
hasn't
totally-
even...
it hasn't even. Yeah,
but
if I would book it, I would go Rollins.
Rollins?
Have him go into SummerSlam as the tweener.
Do you think Reigns helps him? You think Reigns is his like bodyguard then? I could see that happening. Like him turning on. I could see Reigns turning on Ambrose.
Going with Rollins.
Yep, going with Rollins to be a heel.
I don't know. I can't see that.
The only one I can't see turning is Ambrose. I just don't see Ambrose turning heel because he's still over. You know what I mean?
This would have been the last really way to do it where it made sense if you're going to do it with Ambrose, but now it just seems like he's going to be babyface and Dean Ambrose. Who would face Rollins somehow? I don't want to say Cena. You can't do that.
Brock Lesnar, who also never got pinned for the belt.
Depends what Mark Hunt does to his jaw. I said Mark Hunt.
Yeah, not
By the way, yeah. Well, thanks for
What?
ruining the joke.
Oh, I didn't know we were PG.
We're just going out there and going to say it.
Yeah, but I think they definitely have big plans for Brock, whether it's a title match or not.
Orton's scheduled to come back.
Orton's coming back soon. The roster's getting pretty yummy, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, you could go just
I
anyone
think that
but Cena.
you know what I can say. You remember how down in the dumps we were about all the injuries, but look at all the new stars it made.
Yeah.
You have more guys now that you believe in. You
Pretty
know,
much everyone I think's come back at this point except like
except for
Orton. Big Show, I'm not even counting.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, there's no Kane right now.
Not needed anymore.
No Triple H.
Not needed anymore.
But I mean, no Undertaker.
Maybe once a year. He is needed still. I think the Undertaker.
Yeah, once
at least
a year.
once a year.
But I mean, that's what I think. This is just going to make next year's WrestleMania that much better when you have a roster that's this deep with talent. I mean, you think about it. I mean, the people that aren't even in the world title picture right now. You got Kevin Owens, Cesaro. You got Alberto Del Rio, Chris Jericho,
The
Sami
whole Money in the
Zayn.
Bank match.
Yeah, Sami Zayn. I mean, Baron Corbin's coming up. We all know.
Well, let's
Finn
not
Balor,
get carried away here.
Well, we all know Finn Balor's going to be up soon. Neville's going to be back from injury sometime. I mean, you got all this mid card talent too.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a really.
Not everyone can be the champ.
I mean, this is probably WWE's best roster depth wise since the Attitude Era.
Possibly. And if you think about the
I
Attitude
even think it might be deeper than the Attitude Era.
I was going to say that because it really wasn't that deep. I mean, you had a bunch of stables with a bunch of filler guys.
I mean, this could be their best roster since the late '80s, early '90s.
Yeah, that was like the epitome.
Yeah.
The '92 Rumble.
Even with the tag team division, the tag team division's getting deeper.
Yeah.
I'm actually
Tag team division's the deepest it's been way before the Attitude
I'm
Era.
very optimistic for once about the WWE as far as the way that they've done things with these other guys.
That's if it's done right.
Yeah.
If the reins are handed off again. It just things need to change starting from the top. The shit rolls downhill, correct?
But I mean, you have all these guys that are believable. As
And look at the
contenders.
women's division.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that later.
If it's handled right.
Yeah.
And it wasn't tonight.
That women's match tonight, we'll get to that later. But
Dean Ambrose, your new champ. We talked about the match with Reigns and Rollins. Great match. United States title match.
that was your second to last match tonight. This was your filler match.
Go get some nachos or take a piss at the concession stand.
If
Don't
you
piss in the concession.
If you stayed in your seat to watch this match, I'm sorry.
I'll
if
tell
you
you.
were at
I'll
that
tell you
event.
straight up. Speaking of handing over the reins, as soon as this match came on, Michael, you were there. I took a piss.
Well, you went and took a break. I had to stay because somebody had to watch it so that we could cover it.
I did stay for the kissing on the lips of Titus O'Neil and his son,
Yeah, that was weird.
his almost grown son.
Yeah, it looked like almost a teenager son, and he goes up and kisses his son on the lips before the match.
And I did make it post-match. Well, I did see the double clothesline.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that was nasty.
the
to
double
start the
clothesline
match.
from hell.
But as far as the match itself,
And the son slapping Rusev
yeah,
on the chest.
on the tip.
Other than that,
He gave him a titty slap.
Michael, how was this match?
Oh, terrible. To be honest with you, I mean, it just looked like I hate big guy matches because these are two bigger guys. I think these guys need a different kind of person to work with. As far as Rusev goes, he needs like a smaller, speedy guy to work with. Same thing with Titus O'Neil. And I just can't say Titus O'Neil is not a babyface. Can we quit it? I know
Let's talk about the pop.
I know he's a good guy and everything, and you know his mom had cancer and all this stuff, and like Titus O'Neil is not a babyface. He's not. I'm sorry. He does not have the look of a babyface. He's a big, jacked up guy who happens to be African American, and we all know the history of WWE that as baby faces, big, giant African American people do not get over as baby faces in the WWE for some reason. I mean, Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley they tried to make him a baby face.
He couldn't cut a promo.
No, that didn't work, and neither can Titus.
It's like they could never find the perfect.
I know it might sound bad, but the stereotype of most of America is when you see a guy that looks like Titus O'Neil, you don't think, nice guy, good guy, I want to root for this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a big dude. He would get off much more as a heel.
Yeah.
Not trying to be racist at all. I'm telling you, this is just straight from the hip.
It's also how they book him.
Yeah, it's straight from the hip.
And it's like they have a thing for big African American guys. Let's make him really smiley, extra smile. Like he
Apollo
smiles
Crews.
all. Exactly. Bobby Lashley smiled all the time.
Yeah.
Here's another one. I mean, I'm
The
sure.
Rock.
That doesn't.
Until he found himself as a heel.
Yeah.
Which made him
You're right.
a baby
See,
face.
and they brought him at first.
Yes.
Smile.
Yep.
We're just happy to be here.
Yep.
That's what
And
they tell him.
He didn't get over.
That never gets over. It's
So,
not happening
until
with
he
Crews.
became himself, and then he got over as a heel.
Prime
So-
example of a great African American heel. You know what? First heavyweight champion, African American heavyweight champion, Ron Simmons was kind of a shitty babyface.
Absolutely.
When he was a heel in the nation, though, great heel.
Yeah, great
Even
heel.
even Doom with Ron Simmons.
Yeah.
When they were a tag team, good heel.
I mean, it's just I know some people might think it's racist, but that's just the way the wrestling business
Yeah,
is.
it's not a race thing.
Yeah.
It's just like how they've booked them.
It's
stereotypes.
Unfortunately, the fans, this is an American thing, I guess. America does not want an African American babyface for some reason.
Americans usually all live in fear to begin with.
Yeah.
Watching the news doesn't help. You know what I mean? And it's
You
always
see
like
nothing but
and that's how
black
they
on black
spin it.
crime
And that's
on
how
TV.
the media wants
Yeah.
it to spin.
So-
It's always a black guy. It can never possibly. It's only a white guy
Yeah.
if it's like something sick or twisted. They make it.
Well, it's a
white
white-
guys, white people break
Well,
the
now
law
a lot of
just as
times you
much.
hear about the white cops killing the black people, the black teenagers
Yeah.
or whatever. That's big now, right now too.
But that's this kind of story though, where like there's no getting around it.
Yeah.
You can't put a spin.
It's just the
on it.
way America views African Americans.
Pretty much
unfortunately.
before we play the race card with people who would get offended.
Yeah.
It's we're saying like they choose like white people have just as many stories a day of breaking the law as black people, but they're choosing just to talk about the black people getting arrested.
Yeah.
To put a spin on it.
I mean, I guarantee they'd agree with us. African American fans out there.
For international fans,
Yeah.
I don't know how it is over there,
Yeah.
but man,
In America, African Americans are publicized as villains and just menaces to society for some reason. I have black friends.
I have plenty of black
Yeah.
friends.
I don't feel that way at all.
Yeah.
But it's just the way it is. It's the way America is right now. It sucks.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't think that when you have our president has African American descent.
But one thing about our president, and I don't feel this way. I'm sure Michael doesn't. Like in the more rural parts of America, we live with the I don't want to be
Country
the
rednecks.
country going. Well, I said I was going to be derogatory, but the country going folk.
Yeah.
Obama isn't exactly.
He isn't well liked.
They're pretty much out for his blood.
Racism is still alive and well in this country. I don't know how it is over. Hey, AMV Dark Angel, what's it like over there in
I was going
England?
to ask that too. Lee, let us know. Is it
Yeah.
like that over there in
Hey,
England?
anybody else?
I hope it's not because it sucks here. Like
Any
that.
other international listeners? Maybe somebody from Australia, someone from anywhere. Let us know how it is in another country. How's it in Canada?
Slam Pigs Podcast, great segue in. Let's go ahead and get out of the way. Slam Pigs Podcast is on Twitter and Facebook now.
We are international.
And you're already listening to us. We're
Yep.
definitely international.
We are
Hibiki,
worldwide.
Where are they listening to us?
Hibiki TMD.
And always make sure to hit that.
Like or subscribe button.
Always comment. We're the most interactive pro wrestling podcast on the internet, we like to think.
Now we got the plug in there.
Let's move on from the downer. Let's
Well-
pick it up a little bit.
Well, I think
it's depressing.
Well, I think that it's pretty sad when the only one that I guess
Ahmed Johnson didn't get that scary push.
No, he was pushed as a babyface and people liked him.
They didn't because they pushed him like a mean babyface. But
Yeah.
then he was like injury
But then
prone and had a bad attitude.
Yeah, but then
it's always something.
Yeah, but then they did the generic, very stereotypical gang feud with Farouk.
Yeah. Black on black.
Yeah. So I mean, it was Ahmed Johnson was probably the last one that was actually a little bit over as a babyface.
Shelton Benjamin was over.
Well, as a comedy more than anything.
Jason Jordan's an up-and-comer, but...
I think people like him for underdog value.
Yeah.
And, but Tony Atlas. I mean, Tony Atlas was always a babyface.
Rocky Johnson.
Yeah, Tony Atlas was always a babyface.
I think Rocky Johnson worked as a heel in Memphis.
Yeah,
against Lawler. We're going to talk about Lawler tonight, aren't we?
We're going to get to the King. Yeah.
Well, let's move on from this awful match.
Rusev retains. Makes him humble. Cam clutch.
Humble!
He makes them humble. Iron Sheik would have been proud.
Yep, I'm sure he's watching.
But
Rikishi would have been proud for the tights.
Yep. And Lana is looking sexy as always. Man, I love me some Lana. Not as much as I love me some Asuka, but...
I thought you were going to say Rusev.
But Rusev retains.
Lana or Rusev? Lana all day.
Yes. Rusev retains, though.
Rusev's fucking awesome, by the way.
Yeah,
except for the Rikishi time.
I like Rusev. He needs a better dance partner, though.
You're really happy he's growing the locks long?
I like the different look for him. I like the longer hair. I like the different tights.
He's like a Hercules Power and Glory.
I didn't like his tights tonight, but I do like the undie style better than
the biker shorts.
Yeah.
Makes him look more jacked.
Yeah, he's a big man. He didn't look small compared to Titus O'Neil, and Titus O'Neil is a big man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Rusev, I thought he was going to get a big push after Cena, but unfortunately he got destroyed by Cena, and of course, which tends to happen.
Hit that Cena wall.
Yeah, he got those 8 moves of doom and was not heard from for a while. So, that was your U.S. title. Let's get to maybe the most important match of the night.
Before we get to the big one, let's get a fan question.
All right, we have some questions tonight. Thanks a lot, guys.
Love the feedback as always. First time listener.
So, can we do this as the intro to the fan question?
I love it. From Hoppin' Bruce Biggs.
One of my favorite names ever on this show.
I love that intro sound, and I love that name. Thank you, Bruce, so much for your first question ever. He's got a great question. If I believe my memory serves me correct, what is the greatest WCW Cruiserweight champion of all time?
Whew. You want to take it first, or you want me to go?
I got this first.
All right, go ahead.
I don't feel like I go first enough.
Age before beauty.
Wisdom before experience.
Whatever. Old guy before young guy.
Yeah. I'm going to have to say Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio?
Or you could go Chris Jericho Mysterio in my book.
Well, you can only pick one.
I'm going Mysterio, but said Jericho a close second.
Popular pick there.
I think Mysterio was the first time I ever saw a Cruiserweight match in WCW, and I think he was the most, like, I don't know, he was like the first to bring it over, pretty much.
Yeah.
When he came to ECW, I think he was the most popular with the kids and Gen fans of the Cruiserweight division. I mean, you had a lot of great talent. You had Ultimate Dragon, Dean Malenko. That's how I'm going to say his name from now on. Chris Jericho, Lash LaRue.
Okay.
I liked Lash LaRue. I thought he was...
Hoovy Juice.
You had the Juice in there. Is that your pick?
Who did now?
No.
Juventud Guerrero was good.
Then he took his mask off.
Yep.
And
then he
became the Juice.
And then he went to
TNA.
No, I think.
Then he went to shit.
Yeah.
Oh, same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that division was stacked. We talk about stacked today.
Oh yeah. Hell of a cruiserweight division.
One of the best parts about WCW was the cruiserweight.
I think
division.
that carried the show there for a little while, actually.
Well, definitely always seemed to open the show.
Yeah, it was. But the only problem with the cruiserweight division for me was, which with a lot of old school wrestling fans was, a lot of the matches were not very believable because of the style.
Oh, we're forgetting a big one in there. Eddie Guerrero.
That was my pick.
Oh,
I was glad you left it out until you just did that.
Jeez.
But yeah, Eddie Guerrero.
Well, let's segue to you.
Eddie Guerrero was my pick as the best cruiserweight champ of all time in WCW.
The LWO.
Yeah, he had the LWO.
That was great.
But Eddie Guerrero is my favorite because he could work with anybody, and he was flawless at what he did. He could
work with a heavyweight.
He could work with a Rey Mysterio and fly around with him. He could work with a heavier guy like whoever they put him in with, and he could have a great match with them. Yeah. That was my only thing with Mysterio. Mysterio just wasn't as believable to me.
He didn't tell his story as well as Eddie.
And maybe it's the mask, but...
And you know what? I'm kicking myself because I forgot Eddie Guerrero. I'm going to say Eddie Guerrero. I'm going to change my opinion because I totally forgot about it. We can agree on one.
All right.
Well, we already got
I was so glad when you picked Mysterio because I was like, yes, we're not going to have the same one.
Oh.
But we do anyway.
Yeah.
But
how do you top Eddie Guerrero?
Great minds think alike. He's one of my top 10 wrestlers of all time. How could he not be my favorite cruiserweight of all time?
He hopped around, and thank you, Hoppin' Bruce Biggs.
Yeah, thank you, Hoppin' Bruce. I like that name, by the way.
Are you an indie wrestler?
Yeah,
because
sounds like
we're actually dying to know how you came up with that name.
That's a hell of a name.
Sasha Janine. Let's get hers out of there too.
Hey, Gary.
Thank you for another week. Loyal
Yes.
listener. Sasha always has feedback for us.
We love you.
I believe Sasha Janine's question was, what was our thoughts on the Steiner brothers' career? She always has great old school questions. I love it. Man, a woman with
She also even went as far as to say as her father's favorite wrestler of all time was Scott Steiner.
Maybe that's why she asked the question.
No, that might not be a bad thing though. When people think about Scott
Young
Steiner,
Scott.
they think about him in his later years. Back when he was working in Japan with his brother,
yeah, with his mullet.
Yeah,
that was a great mullet.
I mean,
that's last week.
That son of a bitch could work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wish he would have been more of a single star back then. I think they got him as a single star a little late. I think back before he got super jacked, and obviously his knees and stuff went bad.
Steroids.
Yeah, if they'd have got
Let's
him,
say it. Steroids.
when in the early '90s, that man could work with anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, he could put on a hell of a match with anybody. So I think Scott Steiner in his younger years, I think that's a good pick for your dad, Sasha.
He definitely did a lot of CrossFit. But let's not leave
Get
Rick
off
out.
the goddamn CrossFit.
Michael's heard about CrossFit all night because he was
Jesus.
like, "Man, Rollins can fly for a short." I'm like, "Yeah, it's CrossFit."
Yeah. I was like, oh. And then he had to have a CrossFit reference every 5 minutes after that. So I just got sick of hearing the word CrossFit.
Let's not take away from Rick Steiner. He could hold his own. Two great amateur wrestlers.
Rob Rick Steiner,
Yes, his real name.
his original name.
And what is Scott's real name? Rick Scott Steiner? What is his name? Man,
I don't know.
what
But
a fucked up real name.
there's
Rob Rick Steiner.
Scott Rick Steiner?
Scott Rick Steiner and Rob Rick Steiner. I didn't even need the internet for that. That's
Yeah.
just that old nerdy memory bank.
I mean,
Wow.
who decided to change those names, I wondered.
Let's take your name and flip it.
Yeah.
We'll
Instead
just-
of the Rick Steiner, let's just call you Rick Steiner.
Or the promoter was dyslexic, and when he wrote their name on the board, he wrote it back.
He did a Killer Kowalski, like
Yeah.
he did with Triple H. We're gonna call you Terrorizing, and he's like, "That's so stupid."
Yeah.
I want
yeah.
to. Can't I just have a name? He's like, "You want a name?" He drew a line between the word Terra and Rising.
Yep. Some of the best names.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, what do we think of their career?
Hey, hell of a run. Should be in the Hall of Fame.
Top 5 tag teams of all time. They're on my list.
Man, they're
in their prime. I think they got to be in my top 5.
If
Because
anything,
not just what they did over here, what they did in Japan.
Yeah. So
I
many
mean,
great teams.
And
though.
can you ever remember them in their prime having a bad match with anybody?
Quebecers?
The Quebecers? Well, the Quebecers sucked.
Okay, you said anybody.
Well, I don't think that match was terrible.
Money Inc.
Money Inc., I thought they had a good match. I don't know, but
Did they ever work the Road Warriors? I don't think they ever did. Did they ever wrestle the Road Warriors? How would you even book that? Jesus. I don't think they did.
I don't think it would have went over well.
Fans wouldn't
Because
have
because you have 4 guys in there that have the capability to beat the living shit out of whoever they want.
And they're all popular as hell.
And what happens when they disagree on a finish? How do you think that would go down?
Well,
You think Hawk? I know Hawk was a tough guy and everything, but if he got in Rick and Scott Steiner's face, I don't know if he would have liked it. Those are two All-American wrestlers right there who probably would have humbled him a little bit.
I think my favorite thing about the Steiners were like the stories you hear about them. Like all the ribs they pulled. And
Yeah.
stuff. They were crazy apparently. Like Jesus.
That would have been a hell of a shoot match, though, if you could have seen the Road Warriors and the Steiners in there.
Take my money.
We're not going for the finish. Well,
Yeah.
what do you mean you're not going for the finish? You're going to take our fucking finish. I can just see that right now.
That was
We'll see what happens in the ring. Okay, we will see what happens in the ring.
I think the Steiners have that because
I think that
because they're amateur.
I would pick the Steiners.
They
in
just
that.
take 'em to the
I don't care
ground.
how big the Road Warriors are. I just don't see the Road Warriors throwing them around. But Steiners, as far as my opinion on their career,
I don't think I'd put them top 5 for me.
Okay.
I'd maybe 6.
Who you got in front of them?
We've already done this. haven't we?
Name 5 teams in front of them.
The Rockers, the Hearts, the Bulldogs, the Road Warriors.
See, I just
Maybe for me, Edge and Christian because they were so entertaining and good. I'd put those and then put the Steiners, and then I'd put like Harlem Heat maybe. Harlem Heat doesn't get talked about a lot. Great team for good reason. Great team. Were they scary African Americans?
They weren't scary African American. I just didn't care for them.
We're coming for you. I can't say it. I can't finish that.
Hulk Hogan, we coming for you.
Yeah, you guys.
You guys know what comes after that.
Classic.
We don't
I like
say
it.
that word over
Shout
here.
out to Booker T tonight on the. Oh, what? Let's wrap up the Steiner brothers.
All right.
Well,
Steiner Brothers, great team. My top 5, his top 6.
definitely.
Um,
As far as their solo careers, I think Scott had a much better one, honestly.
Well, no shit.
And Rick Steiner just said "bite me" or something on his jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always liked Rick though. He got in there and everybody did the hoo hoo hoo.
But at that time, Scott Steiner in ring was a shell of his former self because of all.
God,
the
Jim
steroids.
Ross loved it when they did a clothesline.
Well, let's talk about the matches with Triple H where the crowd just took a big dump on it. Remember
Scott
that?
Steiner?
At the Rumble
Yeah.
and the following month.
Well, Scott Steiner at that point was not a very good worker. His body was, he could not work. He wasn't half the worker
No.
that he was
Maybe
by that time.
barely a quarter of
Yeah,
that.
I mean, by that time he was limited at best.
By that time, he was Ryback.
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
especially if you asked him to run or something, he just looked terrible.
He'd be, cardio? What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, if you want
See
me,
my arms?
yeah, you want me to throw somebody, I can throw somebody. I ain't running.
I'll tell you what, possibly, maybe the biggest arms I've ever seen in pro wrestling. Not bodybuilding.
Yeah, I don't know of anybody offhand that was
Yeah.
bigger than that.
Scary.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell that
Those
was
little baby lumps.
pure steroids.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was already big before that. I don't know why he had to get that big.
He took so many steroids, the peak of his muscle looked like a prescription
Yeah,
bottle.
and his pecs looked weird too. He didn't have very big pecs.
It's so little down below
Yeah.
after all those years, but hey,
The pecs didn't match.
what another great question from Sasha Janine. Got us thinking on some Steiners talk. When do we ever talk about the Steiners?
Not enough.
We got one more question later on. We'll get to that later. Another
Alright.
thank you, Mary, for your question. We'll hit you up later on.
Yep, we're gonna save yours for last.
Do you want to do a promo break before the Money in the Bank? Because I feel like that's going to be a long one to talk
Yeah,
about.
we might as
I
well.
feel like we've gone a
Yep.
good bit.
Yep.
Who's taking the promo break?
I'm taking the promo break.
All right, well.
And we're gonna go with a little bit of.
Well, let me make it a little professional for you.
Sorry.
God, I got to give you a build-up.
I get excited.
This is our first ever Money in the Bank post show. For the most part, I'm coming out with it a little bit more than thumbs in the middle.
Yeah.
Dan saved it. On the Slam Pigs podcast. When we come back, we're going to wrap up this pay-per-view, get into another fan question, maybe dabble in some other stuff.
Yep.
Talk about the Lawler situation. But, Michael, before we do, what's the first promo break?
Well,
Rusev?
it's not a Rusev, but
So it'd be a Lana.
it is going to be a rare one. Maybe not a lot of folks know about this guy, but it was one of those gimmicks that didn't last very long in WWE. But I loved the vignettes for it. It was hilarious. His name was Waylon Mercy, and he didn't like bugs crawling on him and flying on him because he's Waylon Mercy.
Touching him.
He didn't like being touched. I liked Waylon Mercy.
Hello, you people. It's old Waylon Mercy again. As you can tell, I'm out here at the park, around the picnic area, waiting for all the people to come in. Shortly after a while, they'll be out here with their children, with their fried chicken and potato salads and some hot dogs, surely some hamburgers to go along with all that stuff. And the kids, they'll be running around here having a good old time. And then after a while, the kids will get on the parents' nerves, and the parents will start yelling and screaming, and then load up everything, put the children in the back daggum seats. Then they'll go home, and then they'll tell all their families and friends what a great time they had at the park and what a great picnic it was. Well, let me tell you something. Waylon Mercy knows how to throw a good picnic. And when I get into the ring in the WWF, I'm going to show you people what a picnic is all about. You know what I mean?
And that was Waylon Mercy on Slam Pigs podcast with his potato salad.
There's hot dogs.
Oh, man.
When you look back at that now, it's hard not to laugh at it, but it's awesome.
Well, he laughed at himself in that promo. Man.
He was one of the original crazy people.
Shout out to 95.
Yeah, that was a great year.
Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank match.
Money. I thought you were going to start singing.
money. Oh yeah.
Money in the Bank ladder match.
Shout out to me winning a karaoke contest last night.
Hey.
Yep. For a lot of people that don't know out there, I'm a pretty good singer. I'm not going to do any singing on the podcast here.
We
'cause-
just did. You did.
Well, that wasn't real singing. That was just carrying on.
WWE, if you ever need someone to sing one of your pay-per-view themes for a cheap budget, look no further.
I'll do it for some autographs.
Get the work. Will you stop? Who would want your autograph? We just do a podcast.
I was talking about the wrestlers' autographs.
Oh.
You see, you have this opinion of me like I'm just conceited. Like, you're right. Who would want my autograph? That's right. Such an asshole.
Who would want my autograph?
Jesus Christ.
I'd have to beg people to take them on. Are you sure you don't want it?
God.
I'll tell him what a great autograph it was and how I got it.
I definitely want Waylon Mercy's autograph because that was it's funny.
You know who that was that played him?
Yeah.
Danny Spivey.
Yep.
The Golden Boy. He's in WrestleMania 2 Battle Royal.
Yep.
He got thrown out in like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Then he became Waylon.
That was pretty much the same thing with Waylon Mercy. He got thrown out in about 5 seconds.
His career got
Yep.
thrown. Well, let's move on from Waylon Mercy and Danny Spivey and get on to the Money in the Bank ladder match. Yeah. You had Dean Ambrose. You had Kevin Owens. Yeah, I gotta say it. You had Alberto Del Rio.
You had Cesaro. You had Sami Zayn.
And you had Chris Jericho.
And you had some Chris Jericho in there.
And they all wrestled around and said what a great time they had. No, let's get serious now. All the Waylon Mercy, man. Guys, go watch all those vignettes of Waylon Mercy. It's worth it if you're in the right mindset. You got to be in the right mindset.
God bless America. But anyway.
A little disappointed what I thought it could have been. Thought it was good. Thought it was actually great, but expected more. Some sick spots.
There were some good ones.
You had that power bomb from Owens.
Yeah.
Spot of the night. Good God. The whole crowd didn't even see what happened at first. They
Yeah.
were, oh.
Yeah.
Little
It
delay.
was Ambrose who threw Owens on the ladder that was sitting sideways upright. It wasn't,
I thought it was Zayn, Sami Zayn, that did it.
Yeah, Sami
thought it
Zayn did it to Kevin
It
Owens.
was like a Michinoku driver.
Yeah, something like that. But anyway, that was pretty sick looking. They had like the dueling ladders as sort of like a bridge up to the middle ladder.
Which you said, it makes no sense to really do
Well,
that.
the only reason they did that was to get all six guys.
To get the photo op.
to get all 6 guys up there by the belt. Or, I'm sorry, by the briefcase. But I thought it was an alright Money in the Bank match. It wasn't the best one ever.
No.
Wasn't the worst one either. As far as who won, Dean Ambrose is your winner, obviously. We already talked about it. He's your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
Good little Money in the Bank match.
I know I predicted Kevin Owens and Travis. Predicted Dean Ambrose. Congratulations, Travis.
Lee, you're way off.
Who'd he
Jericho.
Yeah, he liked Jericho in that for some reason.
I actually kind of came around on that idea midway. I thought he was going to.
I didn't think it made any sense. But I never think much of Lee and any of his ideas.
Now I can do it.
So-
Will you stop?
What?
He didn't even do anything. I just said that he was wrong.
Well-
you got to berate the man into the
Well,
ground.
I'm just
and
saying.
it's Father's Day.
Is he a father?
I don't know. I don't believe so, but I don't know.
Well, if he is, his kids won't admit to it.
Ugh. I'll have you thrown out of here in a second.
All right.
Like Waylon Mercy's career.
Oh, just leave me alone. I'm just telling it like it is. Broadcast journalist.
Ugh. Huh.
Huh.
Well, that was your Money in the Bank match for this year.
Lee, you need to get some better predictions, buddy. Get with the times, would you? I don't know what the lag is like over there in England, but I think people could have seen from a mile away it was down to a 2-man race in this one.
I think maybe it was harder because at WrestleMania there was a ladder match too.
Yeah.
You already seen these guys in a great ladder match earlier.
Yeah.
Which one do you think was better this time?
I like the WrestleMania one.
Me too.
But I really thought it was going to be Kevin Owens. I thought it was his time. I guess they didn't do it with Kevin Owens because of what they have planned coming up. Just with what's going on right now. But I guarantee if he's in that thing next year, he's got to win it. The Kevin Owens
If he doesn't win it before next.
he is the guy that I think is on the cusp right now of being the top guy. It's just, once again, his look, I think, prevents him from being there right now. But as far as in-ring ability and charisma, I love Kevin Owens. So, tough break for Kevin Owens.
He did that little spot tonight where he thought he was gonna he set it up like
where he was going to run up the ladder or
and he
something.
disappointed everyone. It
Yep,
was great.
he ran towards the ladder and was like, nope. And
Exactly what a heel should do.
Yep. He plays the heel to a T. But Kevin Owens,
Thought
sorry.
maybe Del Rio might have got it. Maybe
Well, Del Rio, it's just,
he's already won it though.
it doesn't make any sense for him to win it. They haven't done anything with him. But I mean, I didn't think Sheamus made any sense last year.
Yeah.
So.
Oh God.
And it ended up not making sense. He held it for what, a month?
Yeah.
And that was it. So.
Because it went over like so bad with the fans.
Oh yeah, it didn't make any sense. Nobody wanted it.
I think everyone was pissed off about that.
Yeah. But I mean, I think this year it was pretty. I mean, as far as the people that were in it, I think it was maybe 3-4 people at most that you could see maybe having a possibility of winning it. But I definitely think it was a 2-horse race between who was going to win it.
Yeah.
Between Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose.
Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, Dean. Sorry.
Dean Douglas.
Yeah. But
that was your Money in the Bank.
That was your Money in the Bank. It was an all right match. Had some good spots. I thought everybody did pretty well. I don't think that they got a whole lot in there for Del Rio. I think he was kind of left out in this match. He didn't get a whole lot of stuff in.
He got his little stiff.
Well, he got a stomp on the ladder, but
more stiffies tonight than a gay porno.
Del Rio got
a stiffy night.
Del Rio got a lot of stuff in. Or no, I'm sorry. Cesaro got a lot of stuff in.
Don't pretend that comment didn't happen, by the way.
What?
It happened.
What?
This night the action was more stiff than a gay porno.
Well, you were dying to get that in there.
I was dying to get that in.
Congratulations on that.
More stiffies.
Hope we didn't offend any gays out there.
Hey. Hey, all seriousness, our thoughts go out to those in Orlando.
Yes.
That was.
For those of you overseas that don't know, the largest mass shooting in America's history just happened this past week in Orlando, Florida. There was over 50 people killed, over 100 injured, in a fatal shooting. Terrorists, obviously, an ISIS Islamic, terrorist went into a gay bar and just decided to open fire with an automatic weapon and hurt a lot of people, killed a lot. Our prayers go out to their families. I'm not a believer in any kind of violence of that nature towards anybody. So, I mean, I am not a homosexual, but
nobody deserves
that.
My thoughts go out to you guys.
Yeah. Anybody, if any of our fans that listen to the show, if you happen to have a family member or a friend that was involved with that, our thoughts and prayers go out to you. If you need anything, let us know. You can always get a hold of me or Travis, and we'll be happy to do whatever we can do for you.
Definitely.
But
let's pick it back up.
Off of the gloom and doom. Let's get it back up here. Well, the match before Money in the Bank was maybe you had your anticipated singles match of the night other than the championship.
Byron Saxton's dream match. Apparently.
Yeah, evidently.
You said this 27 times.
You had John Cena one-on-one.
AJ Styles.
With the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. I actually thought this was a really good match. I thought it started off a little slow. You could tell Cena was a little rusty in there in his first real match back. You could tell they were kind of trying to get used to each other in the ring.
They picked it up. It's like they found each other.
It took them a couple of minutes to get used to each other, but then they finally got into a rhythm there about 5-6 minutes into the match. It started to pick up. Cena looked like he was blown up a little bit there, but, I mean, that's to be expected when you're out that long. I thought he did a good job for him.
Pabst Blue Ribbon shirt.
Yeah, his shirt definitely looked like a Pabst Blue Ribbon can.
I think there was a controversy where they sued him or something.
What?
Yes, I was reading that on Twitter. I was taking a piss break for Titus O'Neil. There was where he couldn't wear it for now, but they settled or something. If not, then I think he broke the contract.
Yeah.
But market that towards children.
Yeah, great PG thought there. Let's have him wear a Pabst Blue Ribbon themed shirt.
The worst tasting beers.
Yeah.
You got to be in the mood to drink if you need some Pabst Blue Ribbon.
You got to be down to your last few bucks.
Yeah.
But anyway, this match, once it got going, I thought it was really good. AJ Styles, I thought, carried it for the most part like I expected. It's just hard for John Cena when he gets in there with a guy like AJ Styles, like when he got in there with Shawn Michaels. They had good matches, but it definitely brought out some of John Cena's flaws as far as how he moves in the ring. He just doesn't look smooth.
Now, if he's in there with the Ryback, it's like, well, he's a good worker.
Yeah.
But
when you have somebody as smooth and fluent as AJ Styles in there, it makes John Cena kind of look,
Rollins and Styles are pretty much working the same style.
I would love to see them work.
They have been working the Hell in the Dark matches.
Yeah, I would love to see them in a feud. Can you imagine those matches?
It's like wrestling yourself.
Yeah, but that would.
Maybe they want to keep them on the brand split away from each other.
How do you not have a good match with those two?
Yeah.
But as far as that this match went, another surprise tonight. AJ Styles gets the win. 1, 2, 3.
Not clean.
Wasn't clean.
Pretty lackluster finish. Just your little favorite tag maneuver, the Magic Killer.
They had some really great near falls in this match.
A lot of back and forth.
A lot of back and forth. Every time John Cena would try to get something going, AJ would cut him off. John Cena finally started to mount a little offense there. Started hitting some of those moves of doom. And you thought, well, here goes John Cena again. He's going to bury another guy. But no, AJ Styles kicks out of an AA. Also gets out of the STF. Got his own stuff in. Got a calf crusher in. Got a Styles clash on him, which was nasty.
Yeah. He almost broke his neck.
Yeah.
He didn't tuck all the way.
It was well, I mean, Cena will learn, I guess.
Learn the hard way or learn this way.
But AJ Styles gets the win with the assist of the club.
He almost had Nikki Bella, not to get off that real quick. I'm back on the tucking his neck thing.
Yeah.
He could have been on the verge of having Nikki Bella dressed as a nurse full time and feed him pudding for the rest of his life with a broken neck.
But he survived.
Hey, good match. Slow start for me. I thought Cena had to find himself again. It's been so long. But he does speak Chinese now.
Yeah.
Or Mandarin.
Yeah.
Oranges. I can't help it.
They're Mandarin, not Mandarin. But, well,
Mandarin.
Yeah. But it's whatever.
I'll edit that part.
Pish posh, whatever. But Styles gets the win with the assist of the club.
Magic Killer.
He has Cena in a hold. Cena backs him up into the referee. Referee goes down, hits him with an AA. There's no ref to count, and then here comes the club. They come in and hit.
Glorified suplex. Oh, Magic Killer.
Magic Killer is what it's called. So
let's say for what it really is. Is that move dumb?
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't like it.
I
don't like that tag team move.
What's Carl Anderson really doing? He's just like, get down there.
Yeah, he's holding the guy's legs and flipping them.
Don't you get up.
Yeah, like you're not getting out of this. I'm going to make this move look stupid.
Yeah.
I think it definitely could have been done by one guy.
I think they need a new finisher.
Yeah, but they get the assist. They roll AJ Styles on top.
Dirty
the
win.
The ref comes to 1, 2, 3.
Barry Windham's proud.
Obviously, this sets up another match in the future, possibly a cage match, something to where they can't interfere.
But even in they always interfere.
Kind of like they did with. They're kind of doing the same thing that they did with Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt got a win in there.
Yeah.
And then they have a cage match.
Another guy due back from injury soon.
Yep.
Bray. Where do you put Bray going in SummerSlam?
Bray has never been used right. So
put him with Ambrose for the title?
No, not right back into it. I see him more working with maybe going back into it with Roman.
Oh.
Or possibly
Styles as babyface.
Possibly
Wyatt's versus Club.
Possibly Cena.
Would you do a Wyatt's Club feud?
No.
Tweeners? No. Works so good with the Shield.
I mean, obviously when Bray comes back, he's going to be over.
Harper's definitely not ready.
No, but I think you can put Bray in there with a lot of guys right now. Just depends on what direction they want to go with it. If they want to do more of a team thing, or if they want to do an individual thing with him. Yeah. I would love to see him finally get that singles push that actually counts.
Rumored to be a babyface too soon.
Well, the original rumors for SummerSlam were supposed to be him and Brock.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't wrestle at the Rumble. So I don't know what they're gonna do.
The Wyatt entrance was awesome live.
Oh yeah,
remember it was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Glad we got to experience that.
That was awesome. But I'm excited for all the comebacks, returns, whatever you want to call them. But that was your AJ Styles John Cena dream match. John JBL.
He was pissed. Man.
Boy, was he pissed at this ending.
Somebody pissed in his fucking Cheerios.
He was fired up at the end of that match.
And he's supposed to be the heel, and the heel won like a heel should win. He was like, I can't believe this.
Yeah, they cheated us.
They robbed us all. Great match, Michael.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
God. Calm down.
Yeah.
You know, Vince was in his ear like, that's a fucking TNA guy. Bury him. Bury him. God damn. I don't believe this shit. Cuss, it's pay-per-view.
I think that's the one thing I noticed most about the ending was JBL.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Man, he was fired up.
I'll tell you what, I bet
you didn't hear anything from Saxon or Cole because I bet you they were laughing. I bet you they had their mics covered and they were laughing their asses off while he was ranting.
You know, it was probably, you know what, we remember it though. That's the thing. Maybe he was told to me, maybe that was Triple H. Like, okay, they never hear you like this. You gotta pick it up. That's my Triple H. Man.
You sounded more like Stu Hart.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, Stu, wake up! Yeah, so that was your AJ. I'm sure there's gonna be a rematch. You know there's gonna be. It's gonna be pretty good. Now they know each other in the ring. So now the next one should be better.
So when the rumors about Cena and going for the belt at SummerSlam, I don't see it happening because there's only one pay-per-view left before SummerSlam.
Is the bloom off that rose? Is Cena there now to like put over guys?
I hope so.
Me too.
I mean, I think he's going to get his 16th title at some point, but I think this feud has to go up until SummerSlam. I think it has to have its final match at SummerSlam, whether it's a cage match or some kind of specialty match with these two.
Yeah. Hell in the Cell.
Could be.
Maybe.
I think that'd be pretty entertaining to see what AJ Styles could do in Hell in a Cell.
Styles clash on top of the cell.
Oh.
And then it breaks. Oh,
no.
Dead.
Yeah.
Let's not wish that. Let's move right along because honestly the rest of the show is kind of...
we had your women's tag team match. It wasn't even a title match. You had Dana Brooke and the women's champion Charlotte going up against Natalya and Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch.
Oh, Becky Lynch, I'm here to win.
Also, I've got toilet paper and meth.
But she's super hot.
Yes. But
Loves
anyway,
and she can work really good.
Charlotte and Dana Brooke get the win. Pretty clean. 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring.
But
we had a little swerve at the end.
Not swerved, which we called a little bit of. Yeah. It's pretty funny.
We had a heel turn.
Natalya
turned heel.
What are you doing?
On Becky Lynch.
What are you doing? Hit me from behind.
And I think we both agree on this. This is to set up maybe like a SmackDown feud when they do the brand split.
As soon as it happened, I was like, SmackDown.
Yeah. So, I mean, people were, I don't think I really cared.
How pissed would you? We talked about this, but how pissed would people be if they split the women's belt again? Brought back that butterfly belt.
Well, they could call it the other one the Ladies' Championship.
The Becky Lynch butterfly belt. I want to go for the butterfly belt.
Can you say that again?
I want to go for the butterfly belt. I want to win that butterfly belt, and I'm going to be this time. See me from on. That probably is going to sound really bad.
Yeah, that's why I'm laughing my ass off right now.
She doesn't sound like a drunk old Irish man. It's really deep.
Jesus Christ.
I'm going to win the butterfly belt. But yeah. SmackDown. But let's move right along in the show. Nothing else to say about that. What the fuck happened on the show? Dolph Ziggler and Baron Corbin. How forgettable the beginning of the show is. No, it was actually Apollo Crews and Sheamus.
Sheamus. Speaking of Irishmen.
Yep. Let's move right into
1-on-1.
The other one, fella.
This match was also kind of a crowd snoozer. Nobody really cared about this feud. I think it was kind of thrown together just to have a match.
I feel really bad racially now. I think about it. I left for Apollo Crews match tonight and the Titus O'Neil match. Like as soon as it came on, that doesn't say anything about me. Don't you even look at me like that. Will you stop?
Hey, I'm evidently the asshole, but I watched both those matches.
The key words in those matches were Sheamus and Titus O'Neil. Not because of what color their skin was. One extremely pale.
One extremely not.
Yeah.
But this match wasn't terrible as far as ring work, but the crowd definitely wasn't into it.
Apollo Crews clean win.
Apollo Crews gets a clean-ish win. I mean, he didn't do anything dirty, but it was kind of a cheap win. Sheamus is arguing with the referee. Apollo Crews rolls him up.
You got to say Sheamus like I say Rusev. You got to go Sheamus.
Sheamus?
No, Sheamus.
Oh,
you got to do the opposite. Oh. Because you're not excited. You're excited to talk about Rusev.
Sheamus. Yeah, Sheamus was arguing with the referee there after he hits white noise from the second rope, which is actually pretty cool looking. Apollo Crews kicks out. Sheamus is arguing with the ref. And
Sheamus.
Apollo Crews? Apollo Crews gets the roll up. Little schoolboy action for the 1, 2, 3. And that's it. This was pretty much a squash match except for the ending. Sheamus pretty much dominated most of this match. And... the surprise finish with Apollo Crews getting the roll-up.
Yeah.
So I don't know where this goes. Hopefully not too many more matches between these two because nobody cares. Yeah. But they're trying to do something with Apollo Crews. You can tell they're trying to push him, but nobody, like I said, comes back to that old stereotype.
Smiley. Not Norman.
No.
Norman, that was a guy that had charisma out the ass, just untapped.
Wasn't a baby face.
Norman Smiley, he was a baby face. Screaming Norman, the hardcore champion. And he wore the hockey gear and shit. Shout out to Screaming Norman Smiley. Comment if you remember Norman Smiley.
You don't remember Norman Smiley. There's something wrong.
Get out.
Get out of my life.
Dolph Ziggler, Baron Corbin. I'll play devil's advocate. You didn't see this match.
Nope.
You didn't actually make it in time. Or
Nope.
the opener.
This was the opener.
Dolph Ziggler straight up ripping off 1995, not to bring it up again, Shawn Michaels with his ring. Watch SummerSlam 95, the ladder match. You know the blue Shawn was wearing? Picture that. With little DZs and not hearts.
Well, I think Dolph Ziggler was wearing those colors because
It's tribute.
of it being Father's Day and also a tribute to
Is that his father, Shawn Michaels?
No, but the blue color is for prostate cancer for men. So that is the reason why he was wearing those colors. But yes, I see where you're going with the color scheme there.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin gets the win.
Good match. Not a great match, but it was a good match. I'm not going to hate on it.
I walked in as Baron Corbin was standing in the middle of the ring with his arms
With
raised.
his big, flabby, smiley face belly. You know what I'm talking about? It smiles
It's
at
the
you.
belly button.
If he has a good match, it winks.
It's gross.
It was a good match. Nothing. I mean, they've wrestled so many times.
Yeah, this feud needs to be
But
done.
this may have been the best match I've seen because they've worked together so many
It's
times.
another feud that nobody really.
Yeah.
It's a filler match. You know what I mean?
Where's Ziggler's career at now?
Yeah,
So.
he's I think just biding his time till his contract's up.
Then you had your opener, tag team title match, Fader 4-way, Fader,
Fedor,
Fedor
Big-
Emelianenko,
big fan
Brock
Fader.
Lesnar versus
Big Van Fader, huh?
Big man Fedor. You should wear the mask and just mix it. Couple of Vedas. Yeah, Enzo and
Got a
Ken.
couple of Vedas in the house.
Couple of Vedas. Imagine a tag team with two Vaders.
Oh.
Good God.
Why? I didn't even like one.
Smell that ring.
Ooh,
Ugh.
that's yucky. But you had your fatal four-way match.
You had Enzo and Cass. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing? Couple of Vedas.
Couple of Vedas.
You had the Vaudevillains.
The Voids.
Is that what we're going with?
Can I call them the Voids?
Voids.
Voids. Voids. What are you doing?
The tag champs, the New Day.
And you had the club. Hold that mayo.
Hold it.
Hold it.
Don't you put it on.
No.
Sucked. There was actually a big botch in the ending of this.
Was there?
Yeah, I just remembered it a little while ago.
Well, what happened?
There was a finisher hit by the club or something, and someone wasn't standing where they're supposed to be. And I remember Big E, I think he may have injured himself
Oh.
with his shoulder. But the New Day gets the win, pinning Doc Gallows. I'm sorry, Luke Gallows.
That's this.
We don't call them their TNA names here, damn it. Sorry.
We're allowed to call him Festus, though.
I'm surprised the club didn't win, honestly. I feel like they need the belts for heat, because they're the top tag heels. in the
Yeah.
company. Just my thing.
Yeah. But then that makes AJ Styles look bad because he doesn't have a belt.
Yeah.
I could see them all holding a belt at the same
But
time.
you can't put the tag in the singles. Like, it can't be like, well, he's the world champ, but I'm the IC champ. I'm the leader. But
Yeah, but
it's
you have,
tag
you have the
title.
tag champs with the world champ. You know what I mean?
Eventually, maybe. we'll
I could
that.
see them all holding the belts at the same time on SmackDown.
Do you think they would ever expand the club? You think they would add Mayo to it eventually?
Mayo? No.
Pickles?
No pickles. Well, pickles maybe.
Who's your pickles that they would add to it?
Ooh, pickles. I could see somebody like Baron Corbin being part of the club.
They're going to say Stu.
No.
Stu Pickles.
No, not Stu.
Shout out to Stu Pickles.
Rugrats, baby.
I could see that too. I think that's what I
I
was going
think
to say.
Baron Corbin would fit in there as like another guy for them.
Put Titus O'Neil in there.
Probably not.
Is he the Mayo?
No,
He's the mustard.
He's the anti-Mayo.
Oh.
But I could see
He's
somebody.
oil and vinegar.
I could see somebody like Baron Corbin maybe if they wanted to add to the group, but I wouldn't. I think the only
A
one,
big guy? Like an enforcer?
unless
for
they
the
want to
group?
add Finn Balor to it when he comes up.
Makes no sense though.
Um,
Great Khali. He's a big guy.
is he still working there?
No.
Okay.
Bring him back.
Why?
What's he doing? He's probably...
What's he gonna do if you hire him?
Honestly, he probably can't walk anymore. 'Cause he's so... You know how the Giants are
Mhm.
when they get older. Shout out to Gonzalez and Andre. Rest in peace. So... That was your Money in the Bank.
That was the pay-per-view, guys.
2016, we did it. We got through it.
Definitely the most exciting part was the last few matches.
Yeah.
I don't think it was booked very well as far as match order.
It wasn't spread. They didn't
No,
spread the mayo.
They
on
didn't
there.
spread this out very well at all. I definitely think it was all packed into the end of the show here.
What would you have opened with?
I would have opened with the U.S. title.
Yeah.
Or something. Well, maybe not the U.S. title because that match was a stinker. But I would have opened with maybe Ziggler.
Then you go tag belts?
Then you go tag belts, and then you do another stinker match that they had, maybe the women's match, and then you do the U.S. title match, then you go into the Cena match, then you do another stinker match. Then
But you ran out of stinker matches.
They had plenty. There was 4 of them tonight. You could have done stinker match in between all the good
You got
ones.
them all done early.
Well, I'm just saying.
It's hard to spread this one out.
You could have done a stinker match in between all 3 good matches.
Overall, what grade would you give this year's Money in the Bank?
C+.
Yeah. I'm going to have to agree. C+, honestly.
Maybe B- just for shock value at the end. But
that's not enough.
No?
Not all the time. Sometimes it can save a show. It saved the show for the most part, where I wouldn't totally thumbs down it.
Yeah.
If Reigns would have retained, for Christ's sakes, clean, and nothing would have happened, I would have shit all over this show.
Yeah.
You know?
But
even with the Ambrose one.
You guys let us know what grade you'd give this pay-per-view. What did you like? What did you dislike? Let us know down there in the comment section below or on Slam Pigs Podcast on Facebook or Twitter. Hit that comment. Hit that like, subscribe button.
Hit that comment.
Hit it. Hit it hard.
Smash it.
I want it smashed.
Smash it like it's Bud Kilmer's face.
If you haven't seen the movie Varsity Blues, you won't get that at all.
Fire that fucking pig skin. Well, let's move right along.
If you haven't seen it, go on YouTube and watch the damn movie. It's pretty funny.
Is it on there?
It's got to be
I'm
on
sure
there.
there's clips of all
There's
this
everything on YouTube.
But got another question, Mary Hatcher.
Hello, Mary.
Thank you once. Hello, Mary. Thank you for your question once again. Her question this week: should TNA sell to WWE? Should WWE buy TNA?
I think that should be the real question. Would WWE even want to buy it?
For the library, for the network.
I guess.
They would not keep it around.
Yeah, I don't know what they could sell it for. I mean, what I think they should be paying people to watch it.
Yeah.
But
man, that Hardy's shit that's going on. Have you seen any of that?
No.
Oh my god.
I haven't watched TNA in
a while. I saw like
Is Matt Hardy still a champion?
No.
Okay, thank God.
It's Bobby Lashley.
Again?
Yeah. And he wears a little
Not EC3?
No, he wears a little headband now.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But Matt Hardy dyed like a blonde streak in his hair. And he like talks in a fake British accent now, and he tries to be serious. I saw this on Twitter because sometimes videos come up. It's the worst thing I've ever seen. It's awful. It's like a whole story, and Jeff comes and he puts him through like a round table with one leg. And that part looked brutal. But other than that, it was just awful. Matt Hardy's playing piano. He's like a Disney villain. You look like you're gonna puke.
I'm ready to.
He's gonna puke.
That sounds disgusting.
It was horrible.
Yuck.
But
yucky, yuck.
You don't think
I wouldn't buy it. I mean, like you said, the only value in it would be the library of the old X Division matches.
I'd be interested in an X Division set.
Yeah, but besides that, what value does it really have?
TNA always had a thing where like you pumped for the X Division, and the main events were always like washed up WWE guys. Or when they did put Styles in the main events,
like their biggest pay-per-view is what, Bound for Glory?
Yeah. Well, what do they have it? They're on like TV Guide Network now or something.
Yeah.
Pop TV.
Yeah, it's
bad.
It's really bad. The only way you're gonna watch it now is on YouTube.
I mean, the talent's not bad. I like EC3. I like Drew Galloway, Drew McIntyre.
EC3 was a tough enough reject.
He was on NXT too, I think.
Yeah.
When there was like a yeah. But who would have thought he'd be? I mean,
he'd be a big star there, and he's so anti-WWE for some reason.
Yeah.
He hates Triple H. I don't know what happened with that.
Yeah, they treat him like shit. He was a young guy, so
probably didn't want to pay his dues.
Oh yeah, I think they should for the network, if anything. Some people, and there's, God bless you, there's TNA fans out there somewhere still, and they would be happy with having the whole library accessible.
I guess.
Thank you, Mary, for your question.
Thanks.
We never got a TNA question. There's probably a good reason for that until now.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to talk about there.
Episode 16, WrestleMania 16 was kind of shitty. It's 2000, WrestleMania 2.
Besides the ladder match.
Not one singles match.
Yeah, besides,
the ladder match.
That was the first TLC match, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. That was about the only thing I remember that was really good about that WrestleMania.
Just filling airtime.
Yeah,
pretty much.
That ought to pretty much do her tonight.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much once again for checking us out on Hibiki TMD on YouTube. find us on Twitter once again at not the Slam Pigs, at Slam Pigs Podcast. I don't want to stumble over the end.
By the time this comes out, we probably will have already had Raw on television, but we will be back later this week
tomorrow night
to do our Raw review.
Are you coming over this week?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you going to shoot for Wednesday or Thursday?
We're going to do Thursday.
Thursday night this week. We'll catch you guys right here for a regular episode of Slam Pigs Podcast. We're going to get a brand new push or D push in.
Yep.
My match of the week time, I think.
Yep.
And hopefully we get some more questions. So I'll really work on getting this uploaded.
Hey guys,
tomorrow.
don't be afraid to send stuff to Facebook or Twitter.
Couple guests coming up. Our friend Corey is coming on the show eventually.
Be on the show.
Frost, hopefully next week can get off of work. Lee, maybe in the future.
I bet you he don't want none.
Are you gonna start?
Think he learned his lesson?
Are you gonna start?
You think he learned?
Huh?
That's what you get for talking.
Think
stuff.
he may have taught you some stuff.
He didn't teach me anything.
We'll catch you guys later on this week. This is the Money in the Bank Post Show. Thank you guys so much. Have a great week, Michael. You want to sign off for us this week?
Oink oink, baby.
This is Slam Pigs Podcast.
Hey guys, you can follow me on Twitter at the Hibiki TMD. Check out the Hibiki TMD Facebook group for everything retro gaming, pro wrestling podcasts, and everything in between. Thanks for watching another video, and thanks for stopping by on Hibiki TMD.
Hey, what is going on here?